All right, in this automation, we are going to create one contact form to rule them all. So with this one contact form we create and you put on your website, you can gather a support question and send it off to the right place. You can capture a new lead that comes into your website and make sure that a new deal is created in your CRM. You can contact marketing, a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to get into. You only need one contact form. So let's jump in and look at this Zap. So we're here at my dashboard and we'll go ahead and look at one contact form to rule them all. The trigger that we have set up is simply just a Typeform entry. So I went into Typeform, and to be honest, I really dig Typeform. I had been using Wufoo for a while, but Typeform is beautiful and I really like the way it functions. So give it a shot if you haven't. So in Typeform, I actually started with, I think, a template they had already created. I just adjusted a few pieces, and it's a simple contact form. The only major thing that we want to target and we're going to look at in our Zap is this first real question. Hey, what's your message about? So whoever's getting to our website and looking at this contact form is going to determine either I'm a customer and I have a support question. That's going to tell us a whole lot. Interested in your product and want to learn more. Sounds like a lead to me. I'd like to partner with you. So maybe that's a biz dev situation where we're going to partner with a company or someone who's interested. That's awesome. Or maybe it's just general inquiry. They just want to chat or they have something to talk about. So back in Zapier, we have Typeform selected, and the trigger is when a new form is submitted. We're connected there. The contact form is the form that we want. And it looks like it has a sample. Perfect. All right, so that's the trigger. Super simple. What we're going to do with that trigger is then create 4 different paths that the automation can take based on that one question we had in the form. So the very first path they could take is a support question. So I just give it a name, support question, and then I determine the rule, which is, thanks for reaching out, what's your message about? That's from the form. You can see that it's right here. And we want to move forward if the answer to that question contains the word support question, since that is, if we look back in our form, one of the options. I'm a customer and I have a support question. So we are keying off that phrase, support question. Great. So when that gives us a thumbs up, we are going to send an outbound email. We can just choose email by Zapier. You can actually connect your Gmail account and do this as well. Either way works. The only limitation for Zapier is 10 emails sent per hour, so if you're expecting a ton of traffic, maybe you should use your Gmail account. And then we just set up a simple template. Who it's going to be sent to. This is where you would want to put in your support email. If you're connected to something like Zendesk, then it would trigger a ticket. And the subject. And then in the body, you can include the message that they're trying to get to you. And again, we pull from that Typeform entry, and we can see that it says here, great, what would you like to ask or tell us? That's what we want to include in the body. So I went ahead and did that. And then you just fill out whatever else you want and click continue. So looks good. Path A is set up. We'll move on to path B. Now this is the one where we have a new lead. And all of these paths are going to be somewhat similar. They might have just a step or two difference. So you should get the hang of this. We're going to give the path a name. Again, set up the rule based on that question. Thanks for reaching out. What's your message about? This one will move forward if it contains learn more, since that was a part of that question in type form. And if this is the case, we are going to go into HubSpot CRM. Maybe you have Salesforce or some other way to track your contacts and leads. We use HubSpot CRM, so we have that connected, and what we're going to do is create or update a contact. And so once we do that, this person who reached out will make sure that it's logged away, and we can file notes against it, give them a call back, make sure that's all recorded and tracked. The account set up, great. The next step is to fill out the contact's information. We just have the email address, and there's so much more that you can fill out. The first name and last name, that comes from the form that we created. You could ask for a whole bunch of other stuff. If they're willing to give it to you, that's great. Maybe you could create that information in type form and not make it required, so people don't have to give out everything about them. But we captured the main information there. So once we have the HubSpot contact created, we're going to just send another email out. And this email would go to the sales team. So you would set that up just like we did the others, and then we would finish that one up. All right, just 2 more to go, and this Zap will be done. This one, Path C, is for a partnership. The rules are based on whether it has partnering in the response to that one question. If it does, we are going to add them to a partner or a partnership list that we have set up in MailChimp. So we would add or update subscriber. We would connect our account. We would add them to the partnership list. You would just enter in their email address, and we can put in their first name and their last name as well. Let's go ahead and do that. First name and last name. Great. Continue. Awesome. And then the last step again is to send an outbound email. This would go to the biz dev team. So you would set that up just like before, and path C would be complete. There's only one other path, and we will be done. This is just a general inquiry. So we would name it that, give it the rules. Text contains chat, since that was one of the answers. Send an outbound email to maybe the marketing or the support team, and there you have it. So that's it. So for you, of course, you would set it up however you want. Should be pretty straightforward. The key is to just have that one contact form and make sure that the teams that are involved in collecting all this information know that it's coming. Make sure that they're aware that, hey, this is set up in such a way, someone needs to own this. Processes need to be in place, but when everything is in place and they're ready to go, this is going to make it really easy to route whoever comes to your website to the right people without having them to go jump through a bunch of hoops or talk to a bunch of people to try to get there. So that's it. We will see you in the next example.